war.
Make the play, kid. Come on!
War never changes.
Mason, ignite the charges.
Get down.
Makes a strong man weak.
Make me shoot you, kid. Put your hands up. Don't do it. Don't!
And a poor man rich.
The President? United States? This is what my son died for?
The difference is decided by character.
Attention. Reactor self-destruct initiated. Please proceed to the nearest exit.
And if you don't think character is the only factor in deciding victory, then you've been playing the wrong game this whole damn time.
So, this is all of us.
We're all that's left. We have to get moving.
My name is General Silverman, head of NCR forces in this territory. What do you say we have a talk about continued service in the NCR?
The NCR has many spirits in one body, and too few of them agree. While they build new roads on the paths of the old world, they make the same mistakes.
General Silverman, he's the NCR territorial leader. I need him eliminated to take over this region for the Bishop family.
You know what I think? You are going to have a very bright future in our little company.
ああ、真実だ。シーとレーダー同盟のやり方は違う。
Hear me, you disgusting band of ravagers and thieves. We have no heroes here, only villains and sons of whores. Show them what happens when you back a mad dog into a corner. Show them your fangs and tear them apart. Go! Fight! Take all! And give nothing back!
Impossible? Like you ain't? An out-of-shape little nerd turns into Captain Cosmos in a week? I've seen your handiwork scattered all over the wasteland. You'd make a fine weapon. Too bad you were born on the wrong side of some mutant line of genetic code. Unfortunately for you, that line just ran out at the receiving end of my rifle. The war for California has only just begun.
Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Well, hello everyone, and I just kind of made kind of a contact. I don't know. I had a strange interaction.
Let's go! Fascists in the Commonwealth!
But as you walk around,
The Super Salon can give you the hairstyle of your Kim I Care cares about you.
Diamond City.
Ain't no shame in taking the occasional cap. Solomon can hook you up.
Some of the things you hear are kind of distracting. Makes you wonder if anybody here is connected with the Institute, and often makes me think and wonder.
Institute replaces people with machines. Are you next?
Well,
You won't believe what's in the next issue. Just you wait.
maybe not.
Hairstyles from across the Commonwealth.
But well, I think it's worth a read. It's October 22, 87. The Synthetic Truth by Piper Wright. Noodles. We all eat them. We all love them, and Diamond City's Power Noodles has supplied this sustenance for the past 15 years. From the stilted mechanical cadence of Tahaki's programmed Japanese, to the fragrant steam that wafts from each bowl, to the scalding tang of each delicious mouthful, the ordering and eating of noodles is but one of many shared human experiences. Or is it? I was struck by this very question as I sat at the counter of Power Noodles last Wednesday night, just after 5 p.m., enjoying a dinner I had so many times before. That's when I noticed our very own Mayor McDougal saddle up to a stool and engage in the very same ritual, right hand extending, mouth opening, teeth chewing, yes, eating noodles. The shared experience of almost every Diamond City resident. So it must have also seemed to the residents of Diamond City. Nearly 60 years ago, on an uncharacteristically warm May evening in 2229, as they sat around this very same counter, but that was before the days of Takahaki and his noodles, when the bar served not noodles but ice-cold Nuka-Colas, frothy beers, and stiff shots of whiskey. The barman's name was Henry, and that night he facilitated the shared human experience of drinking, smoking, talking, and laughing. That is, until tragedy struck. There aren't many among us who are even old enough to remember that evening, although some of the city's ghouls' residents certainly could have, had they not been forcibly removed thanks to Mayor McDougal's anti-ghoul decree of 2282. But there is one person among us who does remember distinctly the events of that evening. Respected matriarch Eustace Hawthorne, who recounted his story in a public occurrence exclusive interview. Oh, I was there all right, sitting right at the bar, sure as you're sitting in front of me right now. 22 years old or so, and just looking to have a good time. I was safe behind the wall. We all were. So what was the harm? And let me tell you that Mr. Carter made it easy. He came into town earlier that day. He said he was from out west. Somewhere. It didn't really matter. What did matter was his smile, his laugh, and the way he'd make everyone else at ease that night. At the bar, we all just sort of crowded around him. someone wanted to, well, pardon me, everyone wanted to exchange a word or hear about his state of the Commonwealth, and Mr. Carter, he was too happy to oblige. It was just so wonderful until it wasn't. Eustace continued her account of that evening, and the moment when things turned sinister and the truth about Mr. Carter was revealed. We'd been drinking and carrying on. Must have been 3 hours. Mr. Carter had 4 or 5 drinks in that time. He seemed a bit drunk, I guess, like the rest of us. Then something just sort of happened. He was smiling, but the smile sort of went from his face all in an instant. And then his cheek started to twitch. Kind of funny, and I remember watching him clear as if it were happened just yesterday. He reached inside his coat, took out a revolver, and then bam, shot Henry Barman, the barman, right in the head. Didn't hesitate, didn't show any emotion. Mr. Carter killed Henry as casually as if he were paying him for a drink, but his cheek never did stop twitching. Let me tell you, all hell broke loose after that. What Eustace is describing is, of course, is the infamous event known as the Broken Mask. When the people of the Commonwealth learned of the first time that the Institute, the shadowy scientific organization responsible for creation of combat androids, and actually succeeded in creating a model so advanced it could effortlessly infiltrate human society, unbeknownst to the people of Diamond City. The Institute had somehow evolved their androids into truly synthetic humans. Since, after he shot Henry, that Mr. Carter shot 3 or 4 other people too. Like I said, all hell broke loose. The guards came running and then opened fire, and Mr. Carter, he kept shooting and throwing people around left and right. Finally, those guards put him down. It seemed like they had killed a man who had flipped his lid, gone crazy, and he lay there like a dead crazy man. Sure enough, God, it was horrible. But then we saw the plastic and metal. This is one of them earlier synths, you see, and we realized it wasn't a man at all. It was then all we knew. The Institute wasn't just out there. The Institute was everywhere now among us. It was never determined precisely why the synth known as Mr. Carter went on his killing spree. Some suggest he had somehow been remotely controlled by the Institute, who wanted to test his combat effectiveness. Still others felt he had simply malfunctioned, a hypothesis supported by the twitching cheek, and was never meant to kill anyone. But at that time, the why hardly seemed important. What mattered was that the humans of the Commonwealth had been truly infiltrated by an organization whose intentions and motives were, and still are, completely mystery. Using a model of synth even less advanced than the ones the Institute has in service today. Which brings us to noodles, specifically the noodles consumed by Mr. McDougal last Wednesday night, in the same spot that Mr. Carter, the synth, went haywire and mercilessly killed several people after spending hours sharing an experience the people of Diamond City assumed was reserved for members of the human race. They were wrong. Are we? Well, that was an interesting story. Kind of an insight to the past of Diamond City. Not too recent past, that's for sure, but
Is the Institute spying on your home? Read the public to find
still,
out.
it made a lot of people here in Diamond City mistrust what they see around them. That's for sure. Well, until next time,
Read the public and be prepared.
when I can maybe give you some more insight to what you actually see around you.
Agility can also help you out in difficult moments. But why place yourself under undue stress? Instead, try a subtler route. Taking the quieter approach is always worth consideration. Your agility can turn a sneak attack into a complete tactical move. Keep in mind, others may have the same bright idea.